Before we go on to other argument forms that we could apply to real life, I wanted to use a better example with the modus ponens that I think is a little more realistic. This argument is it's deep and controversial, and it's divided many people. It's the question, who is the better basketball player, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? So I follow the NBA somewhat, a little bit, and I see this on some chats and comments and so on, and people will go back and forth on who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. And now this is the sort of thing that you need an argument for, one way or another. Okay, so let's clarify the claim. Step one, right? The first is somebody trying to argue that normally, let's say somebody gives this argument that Michael Jordan is better. Okay, so this will be the conclusion of their argument. Michael Jordan is, let's go stronger, is the GOAT. The greatest of all time. Okay. Now, Now, how might somebody argue for that? Here's what I see people saying. Okay, when they're comparing LeBron and MJ, they'll say something like this: premise one, MJ has more rings. MJ being Michael Jordan than LeBron. That's their premise. Michael Jordan has more rings than LeBron, so Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Okay, but if you think about this argument, it's not really valid. Okay, but I guess you can't expect too much on these little chat rooms and stuff. But people will be like, yeah, he's the GOAT. He has more rings than LeBron. And okay, now here is where you can help the person in the chat room, the Reddit thread, whatever. How? Let's look at premise two, and we can apply what we learned in the previous video. What you can offer is a modus ponens deductively valid argument. How would that go? We would say maybe this. I can make your argument valid by adding this: if MJ has more rings than LeBron, then we have the conclusion: MJ is the GOAT. We can add a little. That's my GOAT. Okay, whatever. Okay, now what we offered is a modus ponens argument, and so the argument is valid. Okay, the next question though is, okay, but is it a sound argument? And this is where we can make some progress in our thinking. Most people won't actually deny the claim that MJ has more rings than LeBron. It's a matter of public record. Michael Jordan has 6, LeBron has only 4. Okay, but they might still deny premise 2. Okay, that if MJ has more rings than LeBron, then Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Yeah, it might be that. And the way to argue against this conditional is argue that even if he has more rings than LeBron, it doesn't follow that MJ is the GOAT. LeBron could be better in other ways. Like LeBron might be a better team player. He has like really good assists. Michael Jordan had a lot of really good people playing alongside him, whereas LeBron has 2, but it's been like very inconsistent over the years. And you might even note that MJ isn't actually the person who has the most rings in NBA history. So it doesn't even follow that if MJ is better than LeBron, that MJ is the GOAT. Maybe somebody else is. Okay. So what have we done? By kind of spelling out a missing premise to make the argument valid, now we can get clearer on what we're agreeing or disagreeing with. Not premise 1, but premise 2, and we can argue against it. Okay. The way to go forward then is to try to defend this, or maybe give another better argument that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Okay. So, yeah, that's an example where I saw in real life a debate that would go on and this sort of thing being said, and it could be a little more applicable.